Hello everyone, this is Sandra at the Whispering Well. So today I was just going to do like a bit of a sort of chat video really, just stuff that you kind of, that I think about in my head, things that go on and, thinking kind of about this time of year. I've got some cards here just really for for you guys to have something to look at while I'm talking. I've shown this set before last year, and this is the Story World Christmas Tales, and this was a lovely gift from Robin over at Toadstool Tarot last year, either last year or the year before. I'm terrible, I think it was last year. And the cards are really lovely. It comes with a little book, but the cards give you like prompts on the back. Like, this is Father Christmas. Every Christmas Eve I deliver gifts to children who have been good. What am I saying to the robin and the wren? How is the frost sprite trying to make mischief, etc. So it gives you ideas of how to create a story from the cards. But I was just going to kind of flip through them really, just to give you something to look at. So I was thinking, about Christmas or Yule, however you celebrate it, or if you celebrate both. In my case, I do both because my nieces and things. So and I've always loved it anyway. Even from a child, I always loved Christmas. The whole thing about it, the smells, because there's a certain smell at Christmas. And I was saying on my on Richard's live that he did, it was me, Gerald and Richard on our Yule live that we did on Richard's channel, Longman Tarot. I always associate the smell of nuts and raisins, the smell of that, like when you open a tin of them or whatever. I always associate the smell of that with Christmas, but because my mum always had those, as well as other things, of course. But it was just, as kids, we used to like take half all the raisins out and never used to bother with the nuts. But just thinking about it, and I was watching one of my favourite films, A Christmas Carol, and actually reading the Charles Dickens book, which I really love, and just thinking about like the things in that story, what the story is trying to convey, and how Christmas is a joyful time, but maybe it isn't for everyone. Maybe there's different things going on in different people's lives at this time of year, and maybe it's not all happy things. So I do think about people that maybe might be on their own over Christmas, or people that have very little, like you sometimes see on the adverts on TV. You might see a mother with a child and they're literally on the breadline, like the very poor people, and the mother can't afford to buy even one present for the child, and normally it's a charity advert. So like in the UK, something like the Salvation Army will step in, and that child may get something. But there's all of that, and there's like people living on the streets. I mean, can you imagine, just for a minute, spending Christmas Day on the streets? It's just I can't even imagine it. You know, these people, and you get people that say things like, well, they've probably they've chosen to live on the street, they've done the. How do you know? You don't know these people. How do we know why they are on the streets? Yes, sometimes it is due to things like drugs and things like that, but not always. Some people have lost their homes because they've been made redundant, they've lost their jobs, they've not been able to get another job, and they've lost their homes, and the only place they can go is the streets, which, you know, is terrible. And I'm talking about the UK, but I'm sure this happens in, for instance, the US as well. You know, and I just think it's nice to be, if you can, bring a bit of joy into other people's lives if it's possible. Like at my local supermarket this week, I went to pick up a few things, and they'd got a huge box, huge crate type box near the escalators, and they were collecting items for the children's ward at the hospital, the local hospital, you know, for children that are going to be in hospital over Christmas. And I thought that was lovely. And with things like that, if I can, I will give, whether it's donating an actual toy or something like that, or books or something, or if it's donating money. If I'm able to, I will do, and just think that maybe I've managed to do a little something to help people that are worse off than I am. And I'm not rich or anything, nowhere near that at all. But if I'm able to help others that are even less fortunate, then I think it's a good thing. I remember one year being in town, and it was really, really cold, and there were these two homeless people, and this man came up to me and he said, would you be able to just get me a hot chocolate? He said, it's not for myself, it's for her. And he pointed to this young woman that was with him, and you could see she was freezing cold. And I said to him, look, I said, come in, because we were near McDonald's, and I said, if you come in with me, I'll get you it, I'll get you something, I'll get you both a drink. And he was like, really, really couldn't believe it. And he came in with me, and I bought them the hot chocolates. And somebody with me at the time said, oh, I wouldn't have done that, they're probably just, you know, trying to con you, kind of thing. But I didn't think they were. And when I looked out the window, they were both just sitting outside with their hands around their cups, drinking their hot chocolate. So, you know, that was a good thing. And they weren't trying to just get money, and they'd already got money, or trying to con people. So, you know, there's that. And then I just thought of, you know, after reading A Christmas Carol, I just thought of how, you know, Scrooge at the end, when he realises, you know, that he's not dead, and that he's got time still to right some of the wrongs that he's done in his life, and to live a different life. And he says, you know, to keep Christmas all the year. And I think, yes, that's what we should do, isn't it? Keep Christmas in our hearts all the year. Try to spread joy, even when it's not Christmas. Try to spread joy if we can. Try to help people if we can. And keep Christmas all the year. And I love that book for what it teaches you. And Bob Cratchit's family with that tiny little goose that they were trying to feed the whole family with and everything. And there are people in situations like that. So I always, and very often, I mean, I suppose not so much now, but you used to always see the Salvation Army at this time of year. And occasionally you do still see them. Normally it's the Salvation Army band, and they'll be in towns and cities, like playing their instruments and collecting money. And I always give to them if I do see them there. So yeah, I just wanted to say, I don't want this to be all depressing, because obviously Christmas is a nice time of year. It is joyful, but it's not all about the receiving. It's about like the giving as well. And for me personally, I love to give gifts, whether it's at Christmas or any other time of the year. I love to give gifts, and for people, see people's faces when they receive those gifts, or to hear how pleased they are when they've received these things. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of say that, really, that while we're having our nice turkey dinners or whatever we're doing, there's always people that are not going to be in that situation, or maybe normally they would be, but this year things are not going to be the same. And especially with COVID as well, which is another thing. And here in the UK, the Omicron variant is just running rampage through the country, and London has been declared as a state of emergency. We don't know if we're going to have to go into another lockdown. I hope not, but you don't know. So we want to make the best, don't we, of this Christmas time. If you can be with family, that's brilliant, because last year a lot of us couldn't do that. Well, most of us couldn't. I remember having to use Zoom with my nieces to see them opening their presents and things. So it'll just be nice this year if you're able to be with families, and to maybe like give a thought to people that are not able to do that for whatever reason. And like I said about the donations to the children's ward at the hospital, thinking of children and maybe adults that might be in hospital over Christmas. And I know the hospitals do try to make it nice for them, but obviously it's not the same as home. And for people that are on the streets. And I think another thing, and I know it's going to sound depressing, guys, but another thing that's kind of prompted me, I think, as well with this video, is that the lady that lives across the street from me, she had dementia, and yesterday she passed away. She must have just passed away while sitting in the chair or something, because unfortunately, because the windows of my house overlook there, I actually happened to be there at the time when the funeral directors brought her out from the house. And obviously they have a special van or car that they use for that. And I just thought, no. One, she was a lovely lady. I've known her for years, absolute years. from when I was a child, when we used to live in this village. When I was a very young child, before my dad worked in forestry, and I knew her from then, and I know her daughters. So, you know, to see that happen right before Christmas, and then it made me think of other things, and imagine how her family now are going to feel. And it's just strange to think that I won't see her anymore. She won't be like waving to me from the gate and getting me to go over and have a chat with her, and you know, and she was always up for a laugh and stuff as well. So yeah, I mean, there's lovely memories though, and that's what you have to think, is that there's lovely memories, and if she was in any pain, that she's not in pain anymore. So yeah, like I say, I know this probably is sounding really awful, guys, and I'm not meaning for it to like put a downer on Christmas or anything like that, because everyone is still entitled to celebrate and have a good time, and I hope that everyone does. I hope that all you guys have a wonderful Christmas, or Yule, or however you celebrate. I hope you all have a really lovely, lovely time, whether you're with family, friends, or whatever you're doing. I really hope that you all have a wonderful Christmas, and yeah, I'm sure I'll be back in the new year, if not before. I may not be back before Christmas, so if not, then I will see you all in the new year. And I'm sure there'll be like a Christmas haul to come, and you know, some other things, and I'm going to be trying to do some different things on the channel as well. I've got an actual book that I'm writing ideas into for other things to do on the channel other than just walkthroughs. So, or if any of you guys have got ideas, or things that you would like to see. I'm not particularly confident with doing actual full-blown tarot readings, as you know, publicly, and to put it out on video. I did think I might start pulling an oracle card on some of my videos, so I might do that. But if there is anything you'd like to see, then please let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you all have a lovely Christmas, and I hope this hasn't been too horrible or morbid kind of for you guys, but it was just something I felt that I wanted to say. So yeah, have a lovely time everyone, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.